Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I'm Sandy, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ontario, Canada, and I'm so glad you're here. I am, of course, doing what I always do, which is check to see that Facebook looks like it's moving. It is! Yay! There we go. Alrighty. So, as you can see, we're going to be using Tidings and Trimmings, and I know I've used it before, but I'm going to show you a different way to use it, because we're going to use blending brushes, which are right here with me. Right here with me. I was going to say, this is the set, actually, that we used for our Handmade Holidays retreat that was held just the Saturday past. And my goodness, we made 9 different projects. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So I do want to let you know that we're having another event, which will be held on Feb the 19th. I hope my video is going to cooperate tonight. Hey, Darlene. Anyone else there? Please say hello so I know you're there. Feel free to comment. I might lose track of the comments. That's okay. Anyway, this is the Tidings and Trimming bundle. And I say bundle because I didn't put here's the dies. They look like they're like a dog's breakfast at the moment. Anyway, I also want to remind you that there's just till November 30th when, let me just make sure everything's plugged in. Yeah, my cable's plugged in. That's plugged in. That's okay. I'm checking all the. Okay. Anyway, you have just until November 30th to take advantage of the fantastic joining offer. So if you have an order that's like $80, $100, $90, anywhere in that ballpark, $110, $135, whatever, for $100, get the starter kit. You choose $165 in products, yay, of your choice, and you get a free paper pumpkin kit. And that's for $100. $100, you get $165 worth of products, merchandise, and a $30 paper pumpkin kit. Way to go. And you get to also be a part of my very fun community. Alrighty, I'm just going to go back and take a look. So I'm breaking up. Hopefully no. Elsie, I know, hopefully there aren't any. So, and hey, Elsie and Sandy, and I'm going to get right into it, because we're doing not 1, not 2, but 3 cards tonight, which means I've done a lot of the prep work in advance. A couple colors that we're going to use repeatedly through this. So I just used 2 blending brushes. You get 3 in the package, but I'm going to use 2. And let's go for it. So package number 1. I'm actually going to show you the card too. Waiting for lives. Oh, I saw that message. So here's, oh, did I take them out of my pocket? I did. Here's card number 1. We're going to use different colors. Of course we are. We're using these colors. For this one, I use, believe it or not, that is, look at how pixelated that is. We're using Evening Evergreen. That was Evening Evergreen, and that is Cherry Cobbler. Really, really light. I am not happy with my internet tonight. I don't know what's affecting it. I'm going to refresh my screen and see if it's still a mess. There's really not a whole bunch I can do about it, unfortunately. Maybe it'll be better in the replay. We'll find out. Nah, still looks awful. Anyway, so we're going to make this in different colors. So let's get started. I will leave this, where can you see this? Right here. I think you can see most of it. I need my scrap paper because of blending brushes. I like to make sure that everything kind of stays put. So I've done a lot of the work. So I've die cut this piece. This is basic white. And this is the die that, this die comes from no it doesn't, comes from Nature's Thoughts. Ta-da. The best part is being part of our group. You're a sweetheart, Darlene. Thank you. It is fun. Alrighty. I also have, well, let's just dump everything out. That's really not the way I wanted it to come out, but of course we're going to use the trim just for this one card, believe it or not. This is one of the tags from the TaylorMade tags. I have embossed it. Everything that I've embossed is all with the same folder, which is the Tasteful Textiles 3D embossing folder. I have our sentiment. We'll talk about that. And not sure why, but I did 3 stockings. We're just using 2. and the base of my card. So we'll get to the base and the measurement for that. And you know, I always say it, we're doing all the measurements I give are during the video. I don't type them out. All right, so first thing I want to do is what I did here, which is create a background, just a little bit of something behind it. When I put it together, you know how you have the pieces and you kind of put them together, I looked at it and went, yeah, a little plain. So we'll do that first. So like I said, this is Cherry Cobbler. This is Flirty Flamingo. So I don't want a lot of ink. I definitely do not want a lot of ink. The other thing I found, because I have a few tests of these, believe it or not, is that I don't really want it to go to the side. It completely changes the look. And I hope you can see this. I want to keep everything hopefully in frame. Alrighty, so let me just check it. Yep, not too much. You can probably barely see that. And that's pretty well they want to keep it. If anyone has ever this is Canadian. It's all over the world, but if anyone ever curled, this is kind of like that brush, you know, where they go lightly, and if they need to, they go harder. So coming out to the edge, I don't want to make it an exact shape either, and I want to keep it much lighter than that one as well. Now my tag is going to sit right here. I would like to see this be shown outside my tag, so we just keep bringing the tag in. And it's just like, hey, there's something behind there, you know, like it's not going to be like in your face. So I haven't even re-inked this, as you can tell. This is what was left over already from me playing with this earlier. All right, yeah, didn't have to add any extra. So that part's done. That's our little background. Very simple. Is there anybody here that has not used blending brushes? I have to move to the comments. Hey, Peggy from Minnesota. Ah, wonderful. I know we're pixelated tonight. Really, really, really annoys me. Really, really that happens. Okay, so I put some. You can see this doesn't even have a ton of ink on it. So I just go lightly and I'm just kind of brushing the top of it, because I'm going to take a whole bunch of it off anyway. So if you have never used blending brushes, make a comment. Hey, there's Rosemary. Hello. So again, very softly, I've already done the extra over here. And what I've done, I should tell you this. So this is one of the stockings from the Tidings and Trimmings. And I've heat embossed in silver. The design, wait, I hope I'm in frame. The design on this, I have to go back here. The pattern on here is like leaves. It's really pretty. And now you can fussy cut them, but I have the dies. Well, you've seen me. I'm not the best fussy cutter. I can do it. I just prefer the dies. That's all. So you can make these in any colors. If you want to do traditional colors, go for it. You can see what how my cherry cobbler and my evening evergreen turned out. I suppose you could ink them up a whole lot heavier too. No, I don't suppose. You can. Oh, there goes my signal again. But I want them kind of all pale, all the same. And I'm really sorry that my video is doing this. So sorry. So sorry. Hey, I heard people have had, I don't know, what's it, November 23rd? People have already had snow? What? We had hail the other day that lasted for about, well, less than a minute. We've had little granules of snow, but nothing really yet. It's coming. And there goes my signal again. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm doing this, by the way, really lightly. I am not pressing. My fingers here to hold this down and press, but I'm not pressing really hard. I find it's better with these to work your way up. You can always put on more, but you can't take off what you have. Well, you can take off a little, and I'll show you what you have to do. So I don't need stocking number 3. I will save that. When you've embossed, the inks they sit on top of the embossing. Let me find a clean spot. I was using this on Saturday with my real red. No, cherry cobbler. So it looks quite stained. So that's not very much, but you can see that I've taken some of that color off. You don't want that on your hands, and you certainly don't want it on the recipient's whoever's getting the card, you don't want that on their hands. So take a wee moment and just give that a wee clean. All right, we're not going to do that, so we're going to close that. And we are ready for assembly on card number 1. Woohoo! All right, so here comes the measurements. My standard card base. I like my cards to be portrait. This is half a sheet of 8.5 by 11. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I've scored it at 5 1/2 and bone folder. There it is. And you know me, I don't like that sitting up. What I'd like to do is get it nice and straight. I was going to say as a tip, don't even, if you haven't got this squared off, don't do this part yet, because you want to do it once, not twice, not 3 times. Looks good. I always check both sides. Oh, we're losing people. I'm sorry, this is acting silly. Oh, you had snow today. Hey, Janice. Yep. I heard about the snow. When I start seeing posts that say, don't go out, I'm like, what? What happened? What happened? So there we are. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, which are right beside me. These are the big dudes. Actually, you know what it'll do? It'll speed things up. And take this, which took the backing with it. I was going to ask you for a huge favor. It's a huge favor. And I'll give you the backstory. My daughter and I went to the Niagara Botanical Convention, which really was, it had artisans and it had a lot of plants, and I would like to get into the sale. This is the backstory. And what we found is you need to have, one, you have to have really nice products. I don't think that part's the problem. You need to have a lot of followers on Instagram, and I'm like in the 200s. One of the gentlemen, I'm not going to get to, like, he has almost 9,000, I think. He's also the organizer of the event, but it's something that I'm going to need to get into the sale. So anybody who's not been on my Instagram, if you are on Instagram, I'm Lolly and Sand. Oh, surprise! You will find me, and just follow. That's all I ask. I just need followers. You know. All right. So let's see. I'm just reading your comment, Deborah Ann. And you know what? I am trying to make my cards things that other people can make. I've seen cards where it's like, I don't know how to make really elaborate cards. It's part, I want to make things that I know 100% you can make. Alrighty, so anyway, there's my dimensionals, and there's me putting it down before I was ready. Oh, come off of there. No. Okay, I think it's going to go right there, but I have to, oh, for crying out, Peteyville. That's what happens when you lose your train of thought. You know I lose my train of thought a lot. It can be picked up. You don't want to, I can't really, off of there. I can't, I've ripped the card, so you can't really stray from that spot too much, so I will cover it. This is what I meant to do, okay? I meant to do this first. I like to do mine, if I'm on the longer end, this is how I want to line it up. So I have to cover up that little boo-boo. All I'm trying to do, is make this edge, this border here, all the same. That's pretty dang close. Pretty dang close. Because I popped this up, I'm going to actually glue this on, and you know me, Tombow for this. Oh, wait a sec. Not yet. I want to put my trim on. It's going to make it a lot harder after the fact. So this is the Simply Elegant trim, and it comes in gold and silver in the package, so it's a duo, the dynamic duo, and you know I love this. The one thing with this is you can't make really great bows. Let's be upfront here. You can't make really great bows with it because you can't get the because of what it's made of. And it doesn't always, because it won't stay closed anyway, the bows. And same with this. This is going to come undone. So here's your trick. Okay, you get your glue dots out. And the portion of my Take Your Pick tool that I use, actually I like using it as a smaller tool anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter that I've overused mine. What I'm doing is putting a little glue dot, well, I kind of missed a bit, just on either sides of there, right there, either side, to try and just hold that down in place. I don't really want it to come apart. That should stay. Now I can glue it. Here we go. So Tombow, and again, you don't need a ton. And we'll throw that on an angle. And what I want to do is not really going to be a surprise, is I want to make sure you can see some of my Flirty Flamingo underneath. Now the stockings, and you can see how they're different from the others. So Flirty Flamingo and Bermuda Bay, I forgot to tell you what color I was using, and Cherry Cobbler, hard to believe, but true, and Evening Evergreen. So this one actually looks a little lighter and brighter, so I think I might be liking this. Alrighty, so let's use a glue dot and hold these two stockings together, just on an angle, just like so, and then of course, you know, we're going to pop them up with dimensionals. I cannot wait to be done this sheet because it takes the backing off too most of the time. Yipes. Is my video still working, I hope? I have to go back up and take a look. Oh, it looks like it's moving. Okay. Sorry about the frog. I may have had too much chocolate, and that makes me go a lot. Alrighty, one there. I think actually I keep throwing them aside, but I don't really want to. There. These aren't going anywhere. And you can use your fingernails, or you can use your take your pick tool, whatever works for you. I like the take your pick tool for a whole bunch of reasons. And one is just keeping things simple. All right, there's that. Here is the sentiment, and this is heat embossed in silver. And this is from, oh, you know, isn't it funny I didn't write this one down. This is from the die that has a whole bunch of dies. I think it's called, oh, rats, I forgot the name. Many mates, I forget what it's called. Many labels? I forget. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's from this one. Right there. This die, by the way, has a lot of uses. It's like, I've got all the circle dies. I have a ton of dies, more dies than you actually probably want to hear about. But dies like this, when you get all these choices on one die, and when I use this, all I do is take a little piece of paper. I'm not taking a whole sheet of paper and cutting all of these. I know some people do that, but I like to stamp and then die cut. All right, we have another dimensional to go on. I'm trying to keep it timely. We can get all 3 cards done. Okay, so this part's going to sit overlapping, and just like with all of my other statements I make, you see how everything's touching? This isn't just down here floating on its own or up here floating on its own. Everything's just going to touch and makes it cohesive. At the very end, I'll show you the one little extra special thing that we'll do on all 3 cards. And I hope I don't forget. Remind me. Say, Sandy, what was that extra special thing you were talking about? And just get that on. Come on. There you go. I figured if I'm going to get it straight, I want it straight. I want it straight the first time. Card number 2. Okay, this one, I'll show you the card. Again, this time I'm going to use the Bermuda Bay and bring in my scrap paper again. This die, very, 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 very intricate. What I'm going to suggest, there's the card. What I'm going to suggest is, now in my case, I have adhesive sheets on the back because I don't want to try and glue these teeny little spots there. I just noticed there's a piece that I didn't get out. So when I peel off the adhesive backing, boop, it'll just stick. What you want to do, especially if you have adhesive back on it, is you want to run it back and forth through your die cutting machine. Don't just do it once. I actually had to put mine back in. It can be done. All you have to do, that's not lined up. You can see other pieces. Keep turning it until you get everything lined up. That's not it. That's not it. And that is it. So nothing's showing. So any other, and then it gets stuck, so you poke it through, poke, and that's how you get them out. That your take your pick tool is awesome for that. All right, so there's the die we use. Same set, all the same set. Uh-oh, where's my front piece? Oh, there it is, never mind. I found it. Okay, now when I did this, I actually embossed after the fact, so this time we've already got the embossing. So again, it's the Tasteful Textiles. All right, so what I'm going to do, oh wait, no, I did say I was using, I'm going to try it in the blue. Oh, actually, why don't I ask you, do you want to see this in Bermuda Bay, or do you want me to try it in Flirty Flamingo? While you're answering me, I have to wait. Messages die. Thank you, Darlene. I knew a demonstrator would be able to tell me that. Okay, so you tell me if you want Flirty Flamingo or Bermuda Bay for the card that looks like this. This is, again, Cherry Cobbler, which turned out such a pale pink because I'm going really light. I love both these colors. I don't know how the blue will turn out, or the Bermuda Bay. But anyway, I'll wait till I see a couple. But in the meantime, again, I will, there it goes again. Bermuda Bay, yay, yay, yay. Okay, I'll give you the measurements. Same as last time. Oh, surprise. This is 4.5 by 11, scored at 5.5, 4.25, I lied. 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5. And when I get to that part, I am going to use my bone folder again. I see a couple, I see, oh boy, I see 2 Bermuda Bays and 1 Flirty Flamingo. We got to keep things moving, so I will make this, no doubt, in another color. But for tonight, it looks like this one. So here we go. What I did is I ran this die through all by itself and made myself a template. I'm just reading your message. It's still white up here? So it's raining. Bermuda Bay. There's another one. Okay. Bermuda Bay. We have decided. It's going to turn out a little bit different than the other one because, like I said, to speed things up, I went ahead and embossed that. So just hold your paper. You don't want to cut it too close to your frame because you need a place to put your fingers. So let's go like this. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, nice and light. I didn't go like this too much because I didn't go back into the ink pad. I'm going to do this as light as I can. Let's put it that way. We can take a peek. Oh, I like it. I like it like that. Alrighty, so there's one. I took the card out of your view. I apologize. And I wanted this to look like not, when I did it, I looked at this and I went, no, that looks like the end of a what do you call it, a banner end. So I'm going to do this and hope it looks more like a star. I'm going back in, but see how much I'm going to take off? A whole bunch. Here we go. Oop, gotta hold it over here. I do not want my paper to move. I really, really, really do not want my paper to move. I do need to move my fingers a little bit. There we go. Oh, wait a second. Paper moved. Get back in track. Back on track. I didn't get to the point of the star. There we go. That looks like a star. And then one up here. And how did I do that one? Kind of like that, kind of like that, kind of like that. Kind of the same. All right, let's do it. Just make the commitment, right? Just do it. Oh, I hope I'm in frame. I do have a tendency to bring stuff towards myself, you know. Okay. Ooh, pretty. So all 3 are different depths of color, which is fine. I will close for obvious reasons. Now, I started to peel one of them. See, the thing is, I only need like that much for that card and that much for that card. So I'm hoping I can get away with just one. Let's bring in the take your pick. I curled one back, but it looks like it went back down. Oh, this is not the fun part. Just saying, this is not the fun part. Where, because I have an adhesive sheet on there, I need to do, it's really hard to see, and because I need new glasses again, looks like I'm seeing double. So I may get really impatient with this. We'll try fingernails too. Oh, I thought I felt it. Oh, maybe I didn't. You need to be careful that you don't bend the paper too much. And you think gluing's faster, and yeah, it might be, but it's messier. I always have these waiting in the wings. You would think I would have these waiting in the wings with the pieces already off. I can see I started it. In the meantime, we can always chat. What would you like to talk about? Oh, hey Marjorie. Welcome. Oh, hey Chris. I like the Bermuda Bay because it's got, I see green in this too. So it's I find it very fresh. I find greens very fresh. Oh, for crying out, Peteyville. I know, watch your language already. Come on. Oh, for crying out loud. There's a method. Anybody, tips. I can get it off other things, but this is so fine. I actually gave up on one. There we go. Okay, set it down and start peeling. There we go. I'm going to do the center one first. Now what I did on this card, let's get this out of the way. We don't need that. We'll need it soon maybe, is I offset it. I didn't want to cover it up completely. I don't know why. I just felt like it. You know, kind of go with what feels right. Well, it's not weird. I'm just reading your comment, Sandy. Your phone, I sound perfect. My tablet, I'm pixelated. Sound and weird. It's one thing for the picture to go, but when my voice sounds all weird. Okay, apparently setting it down was the right way. I'm going to peel back half of this and find my trusty scissors. I'm going to see if I can use the other half. Be careful. Hopefully, on the other part of the card. All right, so let's offset that as well. And give this a trim. Yep, it's going to require some trimming. And I because I have adhesive tape on this, I wouldn't really suggest your using your trimmer. Really wouldn't. Okay, how much? Oh, hope I didn't damage that. There we go. It's very delicate. Can you tell? Very, very delicate. Here we go. All right, and let's. I think I'm gonna have to. Let's see if this would be better. Yep. I'm trying to make sure that I've got everything covered. And it's going to stick to my, it isn't going to stick to my desk. Another trim. We're almost done this card. And then we move on to card number 3. I will put my Instagram, I forgot that. I will put my Instagram link on here. So if you're not already following me, I would so very much appreciate you following me. I don't know how many people I'm going to need to be considered for this show, but it was so awesome that I definitely want to be considered. Okay, I don't need that trim, and I need the trim already. We're using a different trim this time. Baker's twine comes in a bunch of different styles. Okay, here's our base. Let's go to that. Again, 4 1/4 by 11. I already said that. Scored at 5 1/2. And again, line everything up and go like that, nice and flat. And this one is, yep. Glue it with, you use whatever you like. I like Tombow. I need my wiggle room. My wiggle time. Alrighty, so let's make sure that's in the right spot. Alrighty, looking good. Just a teeny little bit of wiggle time required here. There we go. Ooh, wow. Okay, so this is the trim. You get a bunch of different colors. Don't ask me what kind because I don't remember. Bad demonstrator. Bad demonstrator. I'm just kidding. And I'm just going to do that same kind of little loop-de-loop that I did on the last one. So we'll go through here. I always go through the front, I think. And through. And cut the other end, Sandy. So yeah, I'm the Sandy part of Lillian, the Lolly and Sand. Peggy, is that pretty tricky? The adhesive part? Getting the adhesive onto the sheet, is that what you, or onto the, speak English, Sandy. It's not tricky getting the paper on to it. It's just that getting that off. But as we saw, as soon as I set it down on my desk, no problemo. I will, there's always a lag with Facebook, so I'll wait to see if I've answered your question properly, Peggy. Alrighty. So after everything's uploaded, as always, this will go on to my blog. my video, it will go on to YouTube. So you have options of where you might want to see it. If you happen to pop over to my blog and you see my, we're not done with this one either, but we're going to finish up at the very end. That's card number 2. It is a time saver. That one was just really tricky. So I don't think I have any adhesive sheet with me. I did earlier. Let's see, do I need this again? I do. Alrighty. Of course we're going to be using these. Here's our card. Uh-oh. Here's our card. Oops. Or it could be upside down. So this is Flirty Flamingo. And again with the tags. Tailor-made tags. I love them. Perfect for gift tags. Perfect. You will never buy gift tags again. Little sprigs from the, which one's it from? Forever Flourishing. Got it. Had to think about that, didn't I? Alrighty. So, did I not give myself? I did not. Or did I? I did. Okay, I know. Oh, wait, no. Wrong piece. Okay, we'll just do a little pretending. Here's my piece. So, with this, what I did, you could die cut your stars and then just go right ahead and color them, or color them, and I'm looking for a bigger piece of paper. I would rather show you. I'll get a bigger piece of paper. My Whisper White, I don't know about you, but it's always, always on my desk. I don't put it away. I just don't. I use it for, well, you might have guessed, pretty well everything. And for me, I don't make just one card. I'm going to make a whole bunch. Because once you've thought of a design, keep going with it. All right, Flirty Flamingo. So we've only used 2 colors tonight. Flirty Flamingo and Bermuda Bay. All right, so here's my scrap paper underneath. I'm going to take a bunch of that off. Doesn't really... All right, go in bunches. So what I'm going to do is just do a whole lot of this paper. So this is a full sheet. I'm not doing the whole sheet. I'm not going to take that much of your time. Alrighty, make sure we're... If you're uncertain, I'll show you what happens if you do this. I'll go down here because I'm not going to use this. If you go right onto the paper, you could end up with like a blob that's really dark. You end up with things that you don't want. That wasn't my worst. It's not the wettest ink pad that I have, but if it was, I would get a big blob and I wouldn't like it. So I want to go really light and build the color myself. Oh, I'm glad you like that card. A little bit more and go like that. So what I would do then, there is a die, obviously, out of that same set. Okay. That has the stars, these guys here. And what I would do then is I would cut the paper so it actually fit in my die cutting machine. And here comes the magic again. And I would end up with a bunch of stars. Oop, I need that paper again. Come back to Sandy. I would end up with a bunch of stars. So here they are, and I can look at them. I see some of my sprigs. I can look at them and just say, well, I know right now that I like this one. And I'll tell you why. You notice how it's darker on one side and light? Purely by accident. This one's really light. So what I could do is just go back over it a bit. And not the whole thing. I never, ever, ever want it to be everything the same color. That is so totally not what I'm looking for. I can just add a little bit of color to it. And now I like it much better. So I would pick the 3 most unusual of all of them, which would be, I like those 3. So we'll get rid of these. So I would probably, I would have die cut that entire page, just so you know, everything that I needed. So those are the 3 that we're using. Let's do some assembly. All right, to save some time, what I've done is I put glue dots on the back of this. So same size base, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. You would think my bone folder would be like right in front of my face. There it is. Pardon my arm And there we go. Okay, I'm not putting that on because I'm not forgetting that my twine goes on first. It's way harder to do this with the twine on after the fact. Oh, I was just saying, this is how I store everything when I'm getting ready to do a video. And one of them didn't come out. I'm getting worried. So what I did, I popped this entire front up and I used the thread around it twice and then just knotted it. Let's see if I can remember exactly how I did that. Exactly how I did it. Can't be different. So I'm going to leave a tail here because I do need to make a knot. I'll just go 1, 2, and then that's a really long tail, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Cut what you need to cut. And then I'm going to make a knot. I straighten it out after the fact, just so you know. I try to hold my, come on. I'm grabbing the wrong part. That's why it's not working. And come through. Really, it's a knot. Sometimes you have the weirdest hard time on the weirdest items. Hey Bea, no worry, we've already made 2 cards, so you are for sure going to want to watch the replay. Okay, so we have our 2 lines, so I can just go straight to taking off the backing. And once that gets, I find once it gets full of backings, I have to change or remove them and go again. I think I missed one. I did. I still do the same thing. Make sure they're all shiny. Oh, see, that one's not shiny. Oh, that one's not shiny. Wow. Okay. And now I have to hold this up so I can do this. Alrighty. That looks good. I mean, if it's a little shorter on one side, it's not the end of the world. Oh, that's bad. Bad, 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 bad. Bad, bad. Oh, I should have done it my sideways way. You're right. I wasn't thinking. Peeling it off. Peeling it off. And oh, and by the way, I haven't heard anything about it being pixelated again, so maybe it's improved. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to my IT guy again. Alrighty. So let's do it from the side. If you have issues with white on white like me, put something dark down underneath. That will help you immensely. All right, here's my tag. Again, it's just a slightly different shape than the last tag, but it's still from the same set. Because I put this here, I'm going to pop this guy up, avoiding that area. So if I just go like that, I flipped it over already, and we will put these on. Now this one I didn't, come on, it's rocket science. I'm going to cover up the hole so there won't be any trim up there. I didn't think it needed 2 different spots with trim on it, and I keep throwing those aside. Normally I could just peel all of these off, but with the backing not cooperating, I can see that the backing's coming with it. Here we go. The most boring part is the dimensionals, but you know what? I use dimensionals because it gives dimension to your cards, because I like it. See, we can also use our fingernails to take these off. There. Now, I don't want it too high up. I can adjust this a little bit, and we'll go right about, I just want to kind of compare because I really like this card. There. All right. So what I did with this is I have one that is straight on and 2 that are popped up. I only popped up the one side, so I'm going to use the smaller dimensionals. If you don't have them, cut your big ones in half. Okay, so these are the mini dimensionals. All right, just checking. Yep, it'll go that way. Alrighty, really quite close, but we'll give it a shot. And you know my trick, if I need more dimensionals after the fact, I just go under and just put them on. So I am going to cover up that spot right there. So we'll go like so, right up to the top with that one. I'm going to put a glue dot under there, but after we've got them all on. And then that one. So that one, they're going to go here. So put a couple more on. Oh, how did I get, oh, never mind. Those are everywhere. I said, how did I get a large backing? But, for, you know, they duplicate. they do. Alrighty, so yeah, do it on an angle like so. And then the last guy, like I said, I'm just going to glue it straight on. And just some of it. Oh, I left it standing up, and I didn't put the lid back on, so I had a bit of a glue jam on it. Let's go, not the same angle. I don't want them all at the same angle. That's boring. Okay. Put a glue dot here and there. Oop. Backings everywhere. There we go. You get on under there. Oop. Probably should have stuck that to. Probably should have stuck it to the paper. There we go. I know it's all paper. That one too. I can add any extras after the fact. You get the idea of what I'm doing now. Okay, and then the greeting. It's going to go right there. So it's touching something. And again, ooh, we're going to use minis again. It's a long video, isn't it? Oh yeah. Someone got chatty. Actually, 3 cards take me longer, obviously. Obviously. And I always find that maybe I explain too much. I don't know. But thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Alrighty. So, let's get rid of all this stuff because we have to do some prettying up. We are going to bring in the cards again. So, that's our, I'm like, is that the card we made? There's our 3 cards that we made. Alrighty. A couple things that they need. They definitely, oh, you know what? I forgot my sprigs. This guy needs sprigs. And it's kind of funny how that came about. I just looked at it. Actually, I took the card up to my daughter. She looks at a lot of my card and says, too plain, too whatever. Move this, move that. I like her opinion. And she said, it's a nice card, but it's missing something. So I went and put the sprigs on for one, and then part number 2 is coming. Where are they? All right, and then these 2 guys are gonna go. So you notice I use glue dots even for this. Again, not gluing. So those can be there. I don't know if there's enough there to hold them, but we'll find out. Let's just have those coming out this side this time. All right. We also need these. We have to have these on the card. I think these are the ones I use the most, which are the basic rhinestones. I love them. I love that I have 3 different sizes, so I can pick and choose how I want to do this. And we'll go here, and I'm going to put a small one right here. So I know I say this broken record every week. Odd numbers. Odd numbers. So you notice there's 3 sprigs, 3 stars, 3 of those. Okay, this one definitely needs some perking up. So, they are speedy little doodads, aren't they? So we'll go there, and we'll use size number 2. And where? Maybe here. And then I think I'm going to stick with this size 3. So it's another triangle, but it's wonky. Another wonky triangle. Basic shapes. Now, we're not done yet. That's the wrong card. I'm like, why does that card look done? Because it's this card. This one I didn't put any on, but I feel like I want to. You know, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. I have one stuck to my finger. Yeah. There we go. Come to Sandy. I'm just going to use the little ones and keep this one really delicate. I think all 3 cards are delicate given the colors that I've chosen. And last week I think it was all like bold colors. Sometimes you just want to go nice and light. Here comes my favorite part. Wink of Stella, my friends, is your friend. Now, I just don't know which one's full. I know one was empty and I took them both upstairs. Oh, this is the one. All right, so it is almost empty though, I'll tell you that much. So what I like to do, and I got some blue on it, so I definitely don't want that. Make sure this is the working one. Let me check this one. I definitely need more Wink of Stella. This one does, I don't know. I was able to make, oh, there we go. See that puddle? You don't want to do that. Don't do what I do. All I'm going to do is I picked up a little bit of that puddle. I squeezed, I'm stronger than I look tonight apparently. And I'm picking up a little bit of that puddle using the lid and I'm flicking it on. If you want it to flick here, I have to start like pretty well off the page. I have to stay away from that puddle though. I don't want that on everything. Now, as much as this isn't going to show up very well for you, unfortunately, anyone who's used Wink of Stella knows that it is so sparkly. So the person receiving the card is going to be totally wowed when they go, what on earth? Let me just take a peek. That looks good. Just a little bit more. It's hard to actually aim for one spot. Like I'm like, I want it right there and I want it on my stars. That's one. And if the other cards happen to get a little bit more on them because they're nearby, so be it. So I decided to do the Wink of Stella all in one fell swoop at the end. This, and we're covering, I'm covering up my desk and I still see that it's, you know, I didn't cover it up very well. Let's put it that way. I suppose, whoa, there's a big dot. That's kind of what I'm trying to avoid, but I don't dislike it. I found I did that on the originals and again. So anyway, I find making a little puddle, maybe not this big, but I find making a little puddle works a whole lot better for me than trying to get it to like keep squeezing and doing it that way. That's two. Now, the thing is, once you have the Wink of Stella on, like that one, you can't take it off, so just live with it. Just work with it. You cannot take it back off. I would probably suggest not using this kind of paper because it's absorbent. Put it on something that isn't quite so absorbent so you can pick it up and not have it go into your paper and you can't really use it. All right, I think that's, if I want to add more, I can add more later. Let's get that big puddle out of here carefully, not on anything else. 1 second while I get that off my desk. Wink of Stella is for the front of the card, I find, not for the back of the card. Here we go. There are our cards. Here's the original of this one. Like, I don't know. Can you see? I know it's going to go pixelated probably. Can you see the sparkle on like these are covered? So I'll probably go back in and add a little bit more. So that's all Flirty Flamingo. This is where we went from Cherry Cobbler to Bermuda Bay, and I have to say I really like the Bermuda Bay. Thank you so much for that suggestion. That is awesome. And then our final card, which is almost identical, except these colors. This time, again, Bermuda Bay and Flirty Flamingo. So, and this is Evening Evergreen and Cherry Cobbler. There they are. Like, there's our three. There they are. I'm going to put the links to my blog and to everything else. If you care to shop with me, that would be wonderful. Better yet, if you're in Canada and you're going to spend 80 to like 100 and whatever dollars, get the starter kit, get $165 in merchandise for $100. No tax in most provinces and no shipping fee. That is huge. That's huge. Huge, huge, huge. You only have till the 30th. Do not wait till the 30th. I want to make sure I'm available for you, in other words. Anyway, that's what we have. Let's see if we're centered. So that makes a nice last. Mostly it's way behind. Anyway, thank you so much. Please follow me on Instagram. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. And if you pop over to my blog, you can subscribe to my newsletter, which I don't send out a ton of them because I find that really annoying. I think that's everything. Whew, that was a lot. Oh my goodness. Thank you again. I will see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another video. Bye-bye.